Welcome to Chasing Pars, the podcast where fairways meet fresh takes. Whether you're grinding for birdies or just trying to avoid double bogeys, we're here to break down the game, share stories, and help you chase those elusive pars. So grab your clubs and let's tee off.
Hello and welcome back to Out Here Chasing Pars, episode 65. And this one has been a long time coming. A man I tried to have on when he was still a mystery. Welcome to Jamie, for all you listening, better known as the Handicap Tracker on all your social media platforms. Jamie, thank you very much for jumping on.
No, thank you. I can never pass up an opportunity to talk all things golf and YouTube golf. So, yeah, thank you for having me on.
Yeah. Now, before we come on to the Handicap Tracker, because that's going to be the talking point, right? I'm massively fascinated. But the premise of the podcast was always to get to know the golfer. So we've seen you play at the weekend in the Blitz event. When did golf start for you, like playing and that love of golf?
Yeah, so I kind of got into it a little bit late. I was about 17.
Okay.
So when I started like college time and kind of driving for the first time, it kind of gave me the opportunity to get out to the golf course. I had like two friends who I'd play with. One was like a pretty good golfer, and then another was starting at the same time with me, so that was nice. So we kind of got a very good membership deal at a place called Horsley Lodge in Derbyshire. It's like one of the best courses. And being a beginner, I probably didn't appreciate it as much at the time, but yeah, I would be out there all the time. Anytime we got like free breaks or anything at college, we'd just be out there. And yeah, I got hooked immediately into golf. And then, so I was playing for around 2 years in the beginning. And then I went off to university and like the career and everything and took a bit of a break from it. And then I've only just recently got back into it about 3 years ago through my partner. She was playing at the time. And yeah, got me back into it. And yeah.
Yeah, so yours is, I always say there seems to be two stories when people start golf. It's either a junior golfer or a COVID golfer, but you're kind of in the middle. I suppose you kind of came back not long after COVID, I guess, when that boom kicked in.
Yeah, I'd kind of always been kind of watching YouTube golf in the background, even from like the early days of like, around 2012 or so. But then I think COVID, definitely brought YouTube golf back to life for me anyway. I saw a massive boom and then, just started watching from there. So that probably had a bit of a part to play in me getting back into it as well.
Yeah, it's good. That's like I'm very well open. I didn't play golf at all. I hated golf, to be honest, before 2020. And it was Rick Shields' Facebook posts with all the little clips he would post. That's what brought me to golf. Golf club-wise for you. So, again, yours is a little bit different. You won't have a junior set. But when you came back to golf, did you just pick up an old set that you had lying about? Or how did you go about the golf club side? Yeah,
so it was an old set of Callaway Big Bertha set of irons. And an old RBZ driver, which I didn't get along with for a long time. Still never did until I sold it. So I had that set, and then maybe about 6 months of playing again, I got fitted for a new set of clubs. And I've kind of really dedicated myself to playing again and practicing. And when you get a new set of irons, I think that does it for you. You want to play more, you want to get better. So now I currently have, I'll start at the top end of a bag with driver. I've got a QI10 driver. Absolutely love it. Probably one of my favorite clubs in the bag now. I've got the Stealth 3 wood and 4 hybrid. And then I have a Ping G425 5 wood. And set of P790 TaylorMades going from 5 to pitching wedge. And I got a 52, 56 and 60 degree. I think it was the MG4 for the 52 and the 56, and then an old Nike club for the 60 degree. I really love it. That's the only one remaining club in the bag. From about 2012 when I first purchased it. And then put a Spider Tour X, got that recently and completely changed my putting game. I think the consistency and like number of free puts has just dramatically dropped. It's good.
So there's a fairly common theme in your bag, though. Are you a bit of a TaylorMade fan, or is it just happened to turn out that way?
Probably better both. I didn't go into the fitting like specifically looking for TaylorMade, but yeah, just kind of they well, sorry, it complements my game, I guess, using the TaylorMade.
Yeah, I think they're probably the most. I think they must be the most popular brand now all over. Obviously they seem to make quite forgiving clubs as well. There's a reason a lot of the big names are using these drivers as well. So, what about golf ball for you, Jamie? Do you care? Are you?
Yeah, I do. I've been playing a Pro V1 more recently. For the longest time, I'd never really appreciated the kind of differences in the golf ball. I probably wasn't good enough to tell, but I think more recently, like my handicap came down quite dramatically in the last 6 months or so, from kind of the low 20s down to about 11 at the moment. So I think just having that a little bit more consistency of strike, maybe I think I feel the benefits of it a little bit more. I like the kind of extra distance it gives me off the tee and a little bit more control around the greens, because spent a long time over the last like 3 to 6 months just tidying up that short game a little bit, like practicing the chipping. So getting that kind of a little bit spinnier ball kind of helps.
Just that confidence when you trust it, isn't it? That's exactly the key bit.
Absolutely.
What about your home course now? Are you still at the same course you mentioned before, or are you?
No, so moved about a bit, and now I'm a member at Oxford Golf Club.
Okay.
Have been there for about 2.5 years. It's absolutely beautiful. They keep it like top notch all throughout the year, even throughout winter. It's very playable still. It's a very, very good course.
And then give me a couple of your favourite holes in the course. Talk to us about them. Why are they your favourite?
Yeah, so the 11th is very nice. You kind of hit this your tee shot, and then it's kind of like a downhill. It's like a beautiful approach into the green, the approach shot. So yeah, that's a very special one. The 17th, very good. A little par 3, kind of over a little creek. Tough green, but yeah, very, very good.
There's something nice about a par 3 as soon as water's involved, isn't it? Like once it's like as long as it's not like a 250-yard one and you're having to carry it all the way. But
yeah, luckily it's a fairly short course. It tips out around about 6,300.
Nice.
It's not massive, which kind of complements my game because I'm not the longest hitter ever, but
yeah,
it's pretty tight. So you do have to keep the ball quite straight.
So to me, I'm very similar to you. I don't hit the ball far at all. I much prefer a shorter course that's tight and enough challenges with bunkers and water and trees in the right places than just let's lengthen the course. And unfortunately, I'm not Bryson, so
many of us aren't.
No, right. Let's the page, the handicap tracker. Mm-hmm. What made you come up with the idea in the first place?
Yeah, so probably the YouTube channel that kind of inspired it was the Four Bros now.
Okay.
So they started around 3 years ago. New to golf, all 4 of them. I think maybe they had like a little bit of golf experience, but kind of the mid to high handicappers around like the 25 handicaps when they first started. Very relatable, very funny. And then after about a year or so of them playing, maybe they're a little bit cheeky with some of their thumbnails and stuff, being like, we're like 10 handicappers now, like, and to the audience, we never really see them playing that like that. They're still shooting like high 20s into the 30s most videos. So for all golfers, handicaps are, you have to earn them, you work at it. So when you see maybe some other people who are kind of taking shortcuts and getting lower, that kind of just gave me the idea, okay, we see them playing, why don't we just, track what scores they're shooting in the videos and actually give them a YouTube handicap. So it started with them. It was very much just done in like a spreadsheet at the time I guess there were 3 of them until Connor rejoined later. And then I kind of have a background in like software development, so I thought I'd like build a website, put all that together, got them on a leaderboard. And then just from there, it made sense to kind of start adding all the other big creators. So we kind of added like Rick Shields, Peter Finch, put Bryson on there early on, the guys from like Golf Life. And it kind of started the Instagram page. People started to like it. People started to ask for more people, like their favorite creators, to be added. So yeah, it kind of spiraled from there, and now we're up to over about 110 players on the leaderboard.
That was my next question. Yeah, how many are we sitting at? About 110. And now, is this just yourself that's tracking all this?
It's me, and then I think there's 3 or 4 other people who help out as well. So from all around the world, it's very much kind of a project, a passion that like a lot of people are into YouTube golf. They want to see their own creators on the leaderboards. So yeah, they've kind of chipped in, helped out, track various different players. So it's very much a community-driven project.
Yeah, as I said to you off air, I think it's fantastic. I think you've now got the professional YouTubers, the big YouTubers, your Rich, your Pete's, they're talking about it in their videos. Like, as I said to you, when I first heard Wes Bryan talking about it in a video, like that's when for me, that's when you've made it. It's a bit different getting like the Four Bros or a Pete Finch talking about it when you're UK based and you're at home. But when you're getting like a PGA Tour player talking about on videos, I think that's phenomenal.
Yeah, that was a very special moment because it was Wes talking about it with George in front of Ian Poulter, of all people.
That's right, yeah.
So, yeah, that was kind of a pinch me moment. These are kind of like childhood heroes of like, these professional players who, they're talking about your thing. And yeah, it's been amazing. And yeah, it's kind of spread, outside the UK. Got a lot of like people talking about it and even running series about it in America. And yeah, kind of it's been quite big in Australia as well. Got a lot of creators over there as well.
Okay.
And yeah, they're loving it as well.
And have you managed to have like much interaction with like the big YouTubers? Like obviously mentioning videos and stuff, but do you get message? Have you had any abuse about their handicap?
Not so much abuse, no. Like we have pretty good talking relations with probably like 90% of the people on the leaderboard, like including all the top guys. So yeah, it's been very, very fun to do as well. I mean, that's why we do it at the end of the day.
Oh, 100%. I mean, as I said to you, you've got the big guys on it and then debating their handicaps on it. And then you've got basically, with the amount of new content creators there are, you've got everybody basically now vying to now get a slot on the leaderboard, no matter where it is. Do you know what I mean?
Our request list grows bigger every day. We probably have about another 100 requests of people who wanting to get on it. And there's a lot of big guys who are going to get on the leaderboard. It's kind of a matter of waiting for them to have enough video scores as well.
Yep.
So the likes of Ian Poulter, he's kind of started his YouTube channel. We're just waiting on more video scores, kind of to get a more accurate handicap. Tommy Fleetwood, he started a YouTube channel. So like all these people will be coming to the leaderboard at some point. It's just a matter of kind of waiting for them to release more videos.
Do you have a set criteria for the content creators for like the amount of videos and type of videos and stuff?
We typically look for about 15 as a good benchmark for a decently accurate handicap. And then, a sizable channel definitely helps as well. Because we want people to recognize who they are in the first place, but also for people to be wanting them on the leaderboard as well. We prefer like stroke play videos, obviously, but match play we take as well.
Well, that was my next bit, because obviously with a lot of especially the American side, I think a lot of it is stroke play, and there's a lot of generous gimmies, and but that's just the way Americans play. It's not even a knock on them. It just tends to be more of a culture thing over there.
Yeah, it is. If like in a match that we see something that we don't kind of agree on. Obviously, there's a lot of like YouTube kind of rules, lateral drops at OB and stuff, but we do want it to kind of represent, proper golf, and we will penalize them kind of behind the scenes as well. Like if we don't agree with something, gimmies, they happen, and as long as they're not too like egregious, like giving them for long distances, then we're happy for them if they're like within a putter or two. But sometimes for match play, if like a player concedes like without putting and maybe they're 20 foot away, then we have to approximate kind of based on their ability, probably put it down as a 2-putt. But but it's not like ever going to be 100% accurate, but we do our best to and I think it gives a good benchmark at where the player is anyway, especially if they're submitting rounds. Like most of them put out rounds weekly, so it's constantly being updated.
Yeah, it's just fantastic, and it's. I think it's something for the general viewer we didn't know we wanted until we got it.
Yeah.
I think it was always just that fun discussion at how good Grant is or how good Rick. I think Rick's probably arguably the most polarizing one in content, like because like there's people who believe he's still like an actual 5 handicap. It's wild. The disrespect that goes into him, but I just think it's fascinating to see.
Yeah, I mean, for the Rick case, like he scores well, and he usually has his like break 75 series, and he's kind of shooting around that. But playing from the tips on these tough courses, I think people don't kind of understand how the course ratings and slope ratings kind of affect handicaps as well. But yeah, he's been we have like a handicap history graph as well, and he's pretty level around that +1 mark consistently. And I think we have about 100 videos of his tracked now, and he's always been around that.
And I think he'd probably put himself amongst that if he was giving himself a handicap. He's just that Mr. Consistent, as you say. He's kind of never really goes above 80 in these courses, but he doesn't tend to ever, because he has too many blow-up holes, he's never going to be one of those guys that's going to shoot 5-6 under par.
Yeah, that's right.
On YouTube golf for yourself, which obviously kind of leads into it, you mentioned being a fan. Like, what was your first memories, like first creators that you were watching? And
I remember kind of watching the old school Mark Crossfield Lucky videos. Like, I think he was one of the first kind of people to go out on the golf course with a camera and like film like the kind of rounds we see today, the kind of 18 holes. And he's still about today. We do want to get him on the leaderboard as well. Only in the last kind of 6 months or so to a year, I think he's started the course logs again. So we're excited to get him on the board again soon. So yeah, that's probably the first memory of kind of YouTube golf. And
then I don't know if you're allowed to say it's a conflict of interest, but like for watching now, not work purposes. Who's your go-to that you kind of look for to enjoy?
Yeah, so even today's still love the Four Bros. I think what they do for YouTube golf is great. Through doing the handicap tracker, kind of, I think it was from an old Reddit post or something, someone recommended Ron Chopper and a guy called Jolin. So yeah, I love their content there. I think I kind of like the funny golf side rather than. I still love watching the top golfers, the Brads, Ryan Ruffles and stuff. I think they're great. The Brian Bros, they're always quality watchers. And yeah, I think there's this Your Golf Tour as well starting up soon. I think that's going to be something different for YouTube golf as well, kind of making it into kind of a more of a professional kind of format. So yeah, it should be very exciting for YouTube golf coming up in the next year or two. Well,
that's perfect. My thoughts are, what is your thoughts on the YGT? Do you think it's going to be it's sustainable, because we don't really know what the model is with it yet, but like, do you think it is going to have longevity? Do you think this is what YouTube's kind of not crying out for is not the right word, but like to see that long-term competitive side amongst everybody?
Yeah, I think so. They're definitely picking the kind of best of YouTube golf as well in terms of the best players. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see the format. The only one gripe I had is kind of probably international players. I think Pete's there, but maybe a bit more representation from the UK would have been nicer, or from further abroad. But yeah, I mean, it'll be very fun to watch and see where it goes.
Yeah, I think the first one I've seen a lot of, like, not that you were criticising it, but a lot of the criticism that came about it was just the go-to faces. But I think that was probably to be expected because if they're investing their time and money, they want the first one to go the way they want it. And I'm as big a Rick fan as the next person, but I think in this circle, I think Pete fits in better with his personality. He's quietly very sarcastic and funny and kind of gets on with all those, where Rick's almost got a brand that he takes very serious.
That's fair to say. Yeah, I love P, like his kind of British humor, especially when he's amongst the Americans. I think they don't get it sometimes, but yeah, he's so good to watch.
I'm so excited for the draft.
Yeah.
The Internet Invitational.
Yep.
How did you find that?
Yeah, it was good. I kind of like the format. It was good because they brought a lot of the kind of people who you don't really get to see play with one another. So the dynamics of the like partnerships and stuff within the groups was very good to watch. There was lots of controversy. I don't know if some of it was kind of blown up a little bit, kind of the Luke oversleeping, the Melosi slope gate, the Page kind of. I think some of the backlash they received was maybe went a little bit too far, but it's entertainment at the end of the day, and I think all three of them are coming back this year, so they kind of had too bad of an experience. And I think with the increase in the prize money to I think it's $4 million this year, I'm sure they've probably got more big names coming in. I'm not sure if LeBron's going to be there or not. That'd probably be pretty crazy. But I think it's good because yes, it's the majority of like YouTube golfers, but having the celebrities as well that come in and play it is pretty special.
Yeah, I need to hold my hands. Before it even started, I was quite critical of it last year. I'm like, I don't want to see these guys. I want to see the golfer side. I didn't want to see the celebrities and some of them. I'm like, but do you know what? Hats off. It was done right. The only thing that I'm quite fascinated that it's been sneakily quiet. There is no mention of any of the Bryan brothers or Grant so far.
Is that true? Yeah, probably not seen that. So maybe they're doing kind of protecting their own kind of your golf tour. So
that's what I did wonder. And George was very critical of it because of how Luke Kwan was treated from it all. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see because obviously they're very close with Bob the Sports as well. So
I'm sure. I think I've seen the videos that they're already going.
Oh yeah, definitely. Right, for yourself in golf, if you could pick, you're not allowed to pick the four bros just because you've told me how much you like them. But if you could pick three people to make up a four ball from different channels, so you can't pick Wes and George Bryan, for example.
Okay.
You can only have one or the other. What three people from YouTube golf would you have, and in what course would you play?
Ooh, good question. So I think I'd like probably a mix of like good players and a mix of kind of my kind of handicaps. So I'll probably go Ryan Ruffles. He's a funny, great guy, very good player as well. Who might be around the scratch mark? Probably go Ron Chopper. He's very, very good, very funny. Then one more who's around my handicap. I might go with. I'm going to go with one of the Big Wedge guys. I think Harry from Big Wedge.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of my kind of level at golf, and he's very funny as well.
and where are we playing?
And of course, I think I'd like to go play TPC Sawgrass.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bit of a bucket list one for me. I think the 17th. I think I'd be terribly nervous at hitting onto it, but crossing my fingers.
And then, like, of all the YouTubers that you get like recommended and you watch, do you think? Obviously, you've got the usual big ones. Do you see any like breakout? I wouldn't say stars as such, but do you think anybody's going to come to the forefront and become like almost household names in the next year or two?
It's a good question. Trying to think of those who are probably a little bit under the radar at the moment. There's a guy in the UK called Pavan. I think he only has a couple thousand subscribers, but I think he's our like the best UK golfer on the leaderboard. I think he's around like the plus 6.5, so kind of up there with like the Bryan Bros level. I think he's probably not that well known at the moment, but he does a lot on Instagram and he started posting to YouTube a lot more. So I think give it a year or two. I think if he could do some kind of collabs with, some of the best golfers, I think you might see him rise up a bit.
And is there anybody's game that surprises you where their handicap is at to like when you first watched them without trying to track the handicap? Is there anybody that really surprised you coming out of it?
Probably maybe Riggs from Foreplay. I hadn't really watched him too much before kind of people had suggested him. A lot of people kind of get on at the fact that like he always is like a self-proclaimed for handicap golfer, and after we tracked his scores, I think he came out around the kind of 8-9 mark. So that was probably the biggest difference from possibly like what somebody claims to be and where it came out. Although he's a very capable golfer, and I think in more recent times he's kind of brought it a little bit closer. I think he's down at about the 5.7-ish mark now. So the gap's kind of grown closer to what his kind of like off-camera handicap is.
Yeah, and who? I don't know if you know off the top of your head. I'm putting you in the spot, but who's had the biggest drop or increase in handicaps since you started, from when you put them on to where they are today?
Yeah, the biggest increase. I know it's quite hard to tell. I can probably bring up the leaderboard and have a look, because we kind of have a little bit of a. Give me one moment to check.
Typical putting you on the spot.
Yeah, I think most of the time we've not really seen. In fact, okay, it probably. I think just because we've been doing them for so long, it would be Declan from the Four Bros. I think because when we started, that was about a year and a half ago, so we've probably had him being tracked the longest, and he's probably gone from around about the 17 or so. At the moment, we've got him around 7, and yeah, that's been a pretty dramatic.
Yes. What about the other way? Is there anybody who's
the other way
fallen down?
Probably we have a guy called Short Game King in the States. I think he was around maybe the +1, +2, and he's sitting around about 1 at the moment, so not hugely dropped off.
What a terrible golfer.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, typically I think most people typically have gone upwards, not downward. I think that's the way we're playing golf, right? The more you play, the more you practice, you typically should be going up.
You'd like to think so, until you start getting to my age, and it could be anywhere. That Short Game, I was actually just watching a podcast of him today. I actually didn't know he played golf. I knew he spoke about it, but I didn't know he posted content. And then obviously you get the suggested videos, and you venture down that way.
He has a very good like hater series. I think he goes around different cities. Like I think he's been to like San Francisco. I think he's currently in Chicago. I think plays like kind of a haters who call him out. I think that's the thing with handicaps as well. People are very protective, and they don't like to see when people claim, they think they're too good, and it's quite a hot topic. And you see a lot of people messaging in DMs and stuff, saying some not too pretty things occasionally to some of these creators.
It's wild, as I say. Even like if you put a post up, or you just see comments in other videos, and you just see people, as we mentioned, the Rick stuff. I'm sure the Four Bros get it a lot as well when they were talking about their handicaps. I would say I don't know why people care, but I guess it's a good thing that they do, because that's where the content comes from.
Yeah. Most of the people are pretty friendly in the comments. Obviously, people get called out for their handicaps, but that's one of the reasons why we did it the way we do, in terms of only considering on-camera rounds. Is the proof's there. We can point to each video saying, they said they shot a 5 over. There's the proof. There might potentially be a little bit of trickery within the editing and stuff, but I think the majority of golfers on YouTube, 99% of them are probably pretty honest. I think why, unless egos or whatever, but like why would they care about what scores they're posting, honestly?
Yeah, I have this argument a lot. The only thing I think people lie about in YouTube golf is, I think a lot of them will lie about how far they hit the clubs and what club they're using, because I think as guys, and I'll put it down to the guy side, they've got egos that they don't like let's say, only hitting their 7-iron 140 yards. So they'll maybe pull out a 6 from 160 yards, 165 yards, and claim they're hitting a 7.
Yeah, that's very true.
I could be wrong on that as well, but there's definitely a couple of content creators who claim they hit their 7-iron like 180 yards. And I've looked at their swing, and there's not a chance that that's a 7-iron. But
I think you're right that all YouTubers have egos, and it does seem each of them drive it 300 yards and 9-iron 160 or something.
Yeah. Again on YouTube, what's your favorite type of content to watch? Do you have do you like the 18-hole vlogs? Do you like the more American, like the 2v2s, the scrambles and stuff? Or what's your favorite?
I do like I like the matches when there's a group of them competing against each other. Typically like major style videos. I think it puts a little bit more pressure and a little bit. They care a lot about it a little bit more. So I'm kind of a traditional 18-hole stroke play kind of video, but some of the kind of drunk videos are quite funny to watch as well. Kind of a lot of different channels do it. The Bob Does Sports, I think Golf Supply, Forbes, they all kind of do usually it's like 9 holes, break 30, drinking like 36 beers or something as a scramble. So by the time you get to hole 7 or 8, the swing's gone out of the window, and they're pretty funny to watch as well.
And then for your own game, as you say, you've kind of had quite a rapid drop, plenty of practice, plenty of playing, new clubs obviously as well. What's the goal? Let's say by the end of the year for like the handicap practice. What have you got in mind for yourself?
Yeah, I'd love to get into single figures. So I'm not far off. I don't think. I think just play a little bit more, and I think the penalty shots, I think I've kind of reduced a lot. I think just maybe a little bit on the longer irons, a little bit more consistency of strike. Yeah, that probably help me get down into the kind of single figures.
Well, okay, that's fair enough. And then so I'm going to break your game down into driver. We'll collect your woods and hybrids together.
Yep.
We'll do irons, wedges, and putter. And we'll do a rating out of 10. So for your driver, what are you ranking yourself out of 10 for your driver?
Probably an 8, because it used to be I just didn't use it like at all because I had this horrendous like slice off the tee. But only in the last year or so I've kind of strained it up massively, and don't get the biggest distance out of it, but like around like a 260 like total, which is plenty far enough for me.
Absolutely,
yeah. So pretty happy with where it's at the moment.
And then what about your woods and hybrids then?
Probably a 6, I'd say. 3 wood doesn't typically get used all that much, but get a fair distance out of it. 5 wood's probably my go-to wood off the tee if it's kind of a very tight and need to get like 210 or so out of it. And 4 hybrid's pretty my go-to club kind of when I'm in a little bit of trouble in like the short.
What about irons then?
Yeah, they're probably the weakest part at the moment. Kind of going through swing changes to sort them out, but probably a 5, I'd say. It was only until recently that I added like a 5-iron into the bag. There was kind of quite a big gap between the 4 hybrid and 6. So put that in the bag and it's helped out a little bit.
And then what about the wedges?
They're pretty good. I think, if you put me anywhere within 100 yards, I'd probably expect to be hitting the green. So I'll go with an 8, I think.
Before we come on to putter, then you mentioned the 100 yards. Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you think you can beat Rick Shields in a scratch match from 100 yards in?
Oh, so that would be me. So it's still the level par from.
So let's say every hole for 18 holes was a par 3, and you're 100 yards from the flag. Do you think you can beat Rick scratch?
I think I would say so. Yeah, I think I could be coming out, even par pretty comfortably, because I think, even if you're missing the green, you're probably getting on in 2 and then a 2-putt majority of the times, and you'd probably get a few birdies in there as well. especially on par fives and stuff. So, yeah, I'd say so. I'm backing myself.
Listen, I think Rick would beat me 18 times out of 18 on a full course. But I think from 100 yards out, I think I beat him every time.
Yeah,
he's not the best at that range. But putter for yourself then.
Putter, probably a 7. I put a Spider in my bag within the last 2 months, and I think the start line coming off the face is hitting that 9 times out of 10. It's just kind of pace control now, and when I play the same course 5-6 times a week, I'm quite lucky because my missus plays as well, so she's out there as much as I am. So getting used to one course greens, I'm good, but maybe that puts me at a disadvantage traveling away a little bit, playing new greens. Kind of struggle to get the pace like quite quickly. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the putter at the moment as well.
And then you just mentioned obviously the missus playing golf. Who's the better golfer out of the two of you?
I don't think I can comment on that. We're both probably of a similar abilities. She's probably been playing a little bit less than me, but she started playing when she was at university time as well, separately, and then when we came together, and we very much enjoy it. We don't play competitively against each other for the sake of a relationship, but no, we have a great time, and she loves it as much as me. She's on the course so much.
Do you know what? It's half the battle, though, isn't it? Because let's be honest, when we go to play golf, it's a long time that we can be away. By the time we get to the course, play the round, have some food if it's a weekend. So it's good the fact that you both do it, even if it's together or separately. At least it's got that understanding. Yeah,
it's the best feeling as well when you're both playing well or hitting good shots together. It's nothing can beat that on the course.
Until the weekend, and you've got to do an extra set of dishes because she's beat you again. Handicap aside, who do you think is the best golfer on YouTube? Not including, you can't have Bryson, that's saying, obviously there's the debate of Brad, you've got Ruffles, and I'd say Wes and that, they're probably the leading three, but
I'd back Brad in at the moment. I think the way he's been playing over the last year, he's kind of had quite a rise. And I think even Wes said himself that he's probably the best one out of the kind of the top tier golfers at the moment. He's kind of got a couple of events coming up as well on the professional tour. I think he's playing DP World Tour soon in Germany, I think, and then a couple of other kind of pro events. So, but I guess that'll be where the proof will be in the pudding, because a lot of people who maybe don't watch YouTube golf all that much and just think they're okay on camera, but put them in a proper competition, let's see what they do. And a lot of them have kind of proved that. Ryan Ruffles was playing after he won at the Q at Myrtle Beach and did well. James Nicholas, he's a kind of YouTube golfer as well now. He made the US Open cut recently as well. So there's plenty of many of these top tier golfers as well are ex PGA Tour as well. So Wes, Brad kind of did his thing as well professionally before kind of doing YouTube. So they're obviously good golfers, but put them in a real competition and let's see.
Yeah, that'll be fascinating. You mentioned obviously the Germany DPO, whatever it was. I remember obviously both Brian Rose I think played last year and Pete played. They were all over there doing it. I just think, so I would always pick Wes purely because I think he's got such a great mentality that it's almost like a not caring mentality, so that he just plays. I'm like, if you could put Wes's mentality, I mean, even just into his brother, you've got a heck of a golfer there.
George recently is qualified for the Open, so I think next Tuesday is the final round of qualifying. So fingers crossed for him that he makes the Open. That'd be special for YouTube.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad you brought it up because it almost slipped my mind, and I just seen something today on that. So final, obviously, Open qualifying is the week. I'm pretty sure it's the week of, isn't it? The 36. It's normally the weekend before or the week of.
Yeah.
When it happens. So George is in it, but Wes is in it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so because I knew that I was wondering why Wes wasn't competing in the previous round, but I'm sure he probably gets some exemption into skipping the first round. I'm not too sure about it, but yeah, they're both playing in it.
Yeah, so I'm guessing you're obviously as aware as I am. Obviously, with Wes's PGA suspension, is the British Open ran by the DP World? Is that why?
I think it's probably through the RNA.
Just through that, yeah.
Yeah.
I just seen both tee times get announced, and I'm like, wait a minute, Wes didn't even play. What is going on? But yeah, I'm delighted. Hopefully, I'd love them both to qualify and do well.
Yeah, we did a post recently of kind of showing what all the kind of YouTube golfers show. I think there was about 13, 14 of them who competed.
Okay, I missed that.
There was many of them who, were only a couple of shots off. I think like Jimmy Bullard, Josh Oddie, James Wiltshire, we were only like one over. And, if that goes another, like if they get a couple birdies or something, they're making it. I think out of the YouTubers, it was George and then Paul Hendrickson, who's Dan Hendrickson's brother. He qualified as well. So them two will be out there.
Yeah, it's good to see. I think it's slowly but surely giving YouTube just that little bit of credibility, as you say. Yeah. They'll still have it's just YouTube. But I like it when the pros go on and say, like, they get that nerve still, they feel, because these guys are taking it serious. And we mentioned Brad earlier, and Wes and Brad have made much more money doing YouTube than they would have done, professional golf. And then because of that and having that freedom, that when they go back on tour, it's not as much. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hoping Brad does well. I think that'll be good. And back to your point about pros coming onto YouTube, I think Bryson started off that seeing them on camera for 18 holes for an hour, seeing their personalities, I think it allows us as an audience to get them to know them a little bit better. I think a lot of the other pros are kind of tapping into that. You see them, a lot of the TaylorMade kind of guys, kind of partnering with Grant and stuff just for a few holes or something. I think they're tapping into that market of YouTube where, us as fans, we want to see the person as well, not just, we know they're amazing golfers, but, as humans as well, like it's good to see their personalities.
Yeah, 100%. When Grant and Phil started like the duels thing, like that was arguably the best series that there was, because you're getting to see these guys with their personality. I mean, even just Grant's partnership with Phil, like Phil, I mean, I wasn't a golf fan, but I feel most people didn't like Phil Mickelson, the golfer, growing up in the 90s and the early 2000s. But you put him with Grant in a video, and all of a sudden, like he might be one of the most popular golfers on tour. And listen, I'm John Rahm's biggest fan. So my answer to this next question will be John Rahm. But who do you think the next pro golfer to make like a YouTube channel will be?
From those who are kind of not, I would love for, like, Rory to do it. I don't think it'll ever happen, but I would love him to do it. Possibly himself.
He just takes himself too serious, because even when he jump on videos, even when TaylorMade did one. Now, granted, I'm not the best person to talk about Rory for my disdain and dislike of the man, but like even he does a video with Scotty Scheffler, or he'll do a video. He did one with Michael Morris when he was with. And he just, I don't know, he just takes it. He's so dry and so well media trained that he just can't do YouTube.
I think Min Woolley might do it. I think
great
he's
show.
quite pally with Jason Day, who's kind of on YouTube as well.
Yep.
And I think he's got the personality for it. He's kind of big into his social media already, so I think he'd probably do it like very well instantly.
Yeah, that's a great shout, actually. Yeah, I'm just too much a John Rahm fanboy to say about anybody else.
He's been great with the Bob Does Sports kind of collabs. They're hilarious to watch.
that donut video is fantastic. But I could just watch Wes and John Rahm just do a video together, just because the abuse between the two of them and like that. It's almost that British way, isn't it? Like, just you're not truly friends with somebody unless you're slagging them off the whole time you're with them.
Yeah.
What would you like to see from, like, your page, the growth, where would you like it to be, let's say in a year, 6 months to a year's time?
Yeah, so we're constantly adding players each week. Obviously, it takes a lot of time to kind of collect the data, so that's why we don't put them all up at once. But I think the next thing we're wanting to do is kind of leaning to like the YouTube space ourselves, and create a channel where we're either playing with or just like filming creators on our leaderboards and seeing, can they actually shoot the handicaps that we've given them? Can they can they lower it? Because we have such great relationships with like many of them already, and we've kind of floated the idea a little bit, and a lot of them have kind of been interested in it. So yeah, I think launching our YouTube channel is probably the next step.
That is interesting and fascinating. Like, so if you've got let's just use Rick for example at +1, and while you're filming it as well. So for exactly. not saying Rick's the one fudging shots here, by the way, creative, but if anybody like. I'm going to pick on Danny because he's my pal. But if Danny Elwood's claiming he's shooting 5 under round Money Thief, and all of a sudden you're filming it, he's shooting 5 over, then everybody in the comments can have a little go at him. Sorry, Danny, but
no, yeah, exactly. That's the idea of it. So we can kind of enforce the rules a little bit more, make sure there's no, dodgy drops or given. So hopefully that should be kicking off in the next couple of months.
That I'm excited for. Like, get that channel started before. Be curious to see how many subscribers you can get to that before you even release a video.
Yeah, I know. Well, we have a channel already that we comment videos on and stuff, and we've crossed about 100 or so. So it's not many, but a fair few. Like a lot of people recognize our name in the comments, and I think they're probably expecting something from the channel. So yeah.
That'll be fantastic. Right. One last game for you before you go away. We play a little game called This or That.
Yep.
So I'll give you. I always say 10, but there's a good chance it'll be 7. There's a good chance it could be 13. Who knows where it goes, right? So first one's first. Augusta or the Old Course?
Ooh, to play or just to? Augusta as a.
And then the Open or the Masters?
The Masters, I'd say.
I'm going to add a free one in: the Masters or the Ryder Cup.
Ooh, Ryder Cup.
Just something special about team golf. Early morning or after work, sunset or sunrise for your round of golf?
I'm an afternoon, like after work, 9-hole kind of person. I love the summertime when you can squeeze in sometimes 18, but more realistically 9 holes.
No.
After work.
Carry your bag or trolley?
I'm a carrier. Got a pencil bag. I've been carrying it for the last few years. I like walking the course with it on the bag.
Stroke play or match play?
I like stroke play. It's the most traditional and kind of accurate representation of a player's ability. Although there is a time and place for match play as well, but stroke.
I like it. What about traditional scorecard or like obviously modern technology? You've got the apps on the phone now. How are you prefer them?
Personally, I like to do it on my watch, so I like to log it that way. But probably if I was playing in a competition, then I'd if it's you're not allowed to use a watch anyway, pencil and paper.
Pencil and paper. Chipping in or sinking a long slippery putt?
Ooh, probably chipping in. I think putting is that like a long one is very special. It's like there's a low chance of making it, but there's something about chipping in when you get the right contact, kind of gets the right bounce off a slope or something. Yeah, chipping in.
Right. So I've seen one here. I've never asked this one, but I'm going to mix it up for yourself. You've got the choice of a nice Sunday afternoon round with the missus, or a nice Sunday afternoon round with any content creator you like.
Ooh. Since I play with my missus a lot anyway, I think I'd take the chance of playing with a creator.
Yeah, quite right. Shorts or trousers?
Being in the UK, it's a rare chance to get the shorts out when it's nice weather, so I'll go with the shorts.
Would you rather play bad but score well, or play well but score bad?
I'd probably do the play well and score bad, just because I think, golf, you can get lucky breaks or bad breaks. And if you're playing well and hitting the shots you want to play and you think you're playing well, and if they don't come off, then so be it. But I think it gives you more confidence going into the next round, where if you're playing badly, that might carry on into the next round, and then you might have a horrendous score.
Who, Rory or Tiger?
Tiger.
And then last one, 18 pars or 9 birdies, then 9 bogeys?
I'd go with the 18 pars. I think, you agree? Yeah, I think having the consistency, that's what we strive for. I think if I was 9 under after 9 holes and it wasn't competition, I'd be probably walking off the course. I knew I'd crumble. But yeah, 18 pars. I'm happy with boring golf. Fairways hit, green and regs, 2 putts. I'd snap your hand off for that.
That's the dream, isn't it? Like if we hit every fairway or green and reg, and then every green and reg and 2 putt, that would always, when you see the little post like, what 2 would you rather? If you can give me a green and reg for 18 holes, I'm walking away under par, because at some point I'll 1 putt. Most of the time I'll 2 putt. I might throw in a 3 putt just out of like laziness at that point. But give me that every day.
Like 300-yard drive or a green and reg every time. I'd definitely be taking the green and regs.
No, definitely. Right, Jamie, thank you very much.
No, thank you for having me. I enjoyed that.
I mean, you need no hanging about. Do you want to let everybody know where they can find all the stuff and promote the website and the Patreon? Actually, we didn't even come on to that.
Yeah, so we're mainly on Instagram, Handicap Tracker, but we also have a website where you can see kind of a player's whole history of rounds. We do kind of course leaderboards as well. We throw up the odd article. That's at handicap-tracker.com. And then, Patreon as well. We've had a few signups recently as well. It's kind of a behind the scenes. You kind of get to see how kind of a website's made as well. So if you're kind of into the kind of software development kind of side as well, you get a bit of that. See who's coming up in the future. And it's a good place to talk all things golf as well. That's what we love to do.
Honestly, Jamie, keep up the good work. I look forward to seeing you growing more and more. I want to see all these content creators stop arguing about handicaps when it comes to these videos, when there's a proven one out there.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll ever happen, but
you know what? I think it will. I think the more and more it's getting spoken about, I think it'll be brought. I'm curious actually with the Your Golf Tour or whatever it's called, when they do their video on Monday, if there's any now discussion of the handicap as well. So that'll be an interesting one.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. No,
Definitely.
Thank you for having me on.
No, thank you, mate. And thank you at home for listening as always. Make sure you go and give the Handicap Tracker a follow. I'll tag them in all the pages. But I mean, if you're watching me, you probably know the guy anyway. But thank you at home, and we will see you next week.